Several days ago, an incident occurred. 3 suspects remain. 3 weapons untested. Will today be the day that the truth is revealed? I have a good feeling about today, Booker. We're gonna solve this thing. Oh, of course. Absolutely. I think. Here you are, Dr. Seaweed. The final weapons for evidence. We found this candlestick on the floor of the billiard room, this slingshot under a shrub in the gazebo area, and this lead pipe under a pile of leaves in the courtyard. I'll get to work right away, officer. The nature of the injury rules out the slingshot you found, but it could definitely have been caused by something like a candlestick or a lead pipe. Alright, a quick development in the case today. Let's go ahead and mark this slingshot off the list. We're going to take one of our stones and drop it right here. And that leaves 2 weapons and 3 suspects to go. Alright, well, it does seem that the police have finished gathering all the evidence that they need to gather, so we have been cleared to complete our final room and therefore our job here at Boddy Manor. This is the billiard room, and we have some green carpet in here. We're going to start, of course, with the obvious, which is a billiard table right there for the center of the room. And Colonel Mustard apparently plays the trumpet. Okay, well that's fun. Okay, I'm actually gonna leave this back a little, I think. I was kind of feeling it the other direction, but I think we will leave it just like this. Because I have a couple other things that I want to fit in here, some bigger furniture. So we're gonna take a look at this covered counter, see if we can make this work in here. And I may actually move this down a little, kind of. We did have to remove the back wall of the library here so we could see what we're doing over here today. So we're working with this. Okay, whoops, why did I do that? Okay, so then the other thing that I had that I wanted to add in was this counter table. And we're gonna see if this works with things too. But we just want to leave plenty of room around the billiard table itself, because, you know, if you've ever played that, you know, you need some elbow room to get that stuff going. You can't have stuff right up against it. So we're gonna have that there. Just keep some room around it. So we'll have some stuff probably over here in the corners. Let's even see what we have for a corner. I know we're all dying to see what's in this balloon present that I just got to. So let's check that out. Oh, some fragrance sticks. Well, who knows? We might use that in here. Oh, we have an audience now. Colonel Mustard's just gonna hang out over here today, I guess. So there we go for that. I think I'm gonna push this one space more back so that we have a full square here. Let's see, I have a thing. A small vase. Yes, we're going to put a small vase in front of it. It's a little bit of blue with some cranes on it, which is super cute. And I think, do we keep that counter here? Because I do have one other thing, and that was, just in case someone was interested in, you know, hanging out in the billiard room while other people are playing, but they're not necessarily interested in playing theirself. We're gonna have a little, you know what, we're gonna move that up because you would want them to be facing the players. So we're gonna put a little stool there, and then just have some cards for them to play with. Just gonna hang out, building the card tower while everybody else is playing billiards. I know the police officers have seemed rather busy today, so why don't we check in on what they're doing? I took tea into Mr.Boddy at precisely midnight. It was his habit. That was my last duty for the night on my last day as his maid, having been let go and all. But he did let me work out a notice, which was very kind of him. And where did you go when you left the billiard room, Mrs. White? Well, it was rather late, so I headed to my cabin. I did notice Colonel Mustard going into the room as I left. Interesting. Ah, yes, I did join Mr. Boddy in the billiard room just after midnight. Had an idea to run by him. He was an awfully good chap to run ideas by. Turns out we started talking and singing some songs from the good old days. But that tuckered me out pretty quickly, so I headed off to bed. I do remember smelling something as I passed the hallway. Something very distinct. Ah, yes, it was peaches. Interesting. It's true. I was lurking outside the room, waiting for that colonel to leave so I could confront Mr. Boddy. He was trying to prove that I wasn't his daughter, but I was so sure that I was. It's even true that I had dark thoughts in my little head regarding his survival. I had a candlestick in my hand and I was ready to use it. His back was to me when I walked in the room. I lifted that candlestick in the air, and then I woke up with an awful bump on my head. Someone tried to get me too, but I suppose they spent their real effort on him. When I saw him there, I skedaddled. I sure didn't want to get blamed. I wouldn't have gone through with it anyway. You believe me, right? But that was there in the billiard room, and I didn't see anyone else when I ran out. But didn't you find him in the cloakroom? I guess someone did come back. Well, a little check-in with our list. It does seem that Miss Peach is off the hook, having been attacked herself. So we're going to go ahead and mark her off as a suspect. There we go. All right, it's down to 2. It's either that Colonel Mustard or Mrs. White. Okay, things are getting spicy. Uh-oh. Oh no. I wouldn't want their job. Okay, let's see. We'll just stick to decorating. Let's see what we can add over here. You know, I do also have this Japanese dresser. I wonder if that might be a better fit here than this covered counter. It's a little bit much. Just seems like kind of a lot for this room. I want to kind of move this over. Maybe not that far over. Yeah, maybe we'll, Whoops. Maybe we'll, Sometimes you gotta think about things for a while. Alright, so I think we're gonna use this instead. This seems a little less intense. And I might actually leave it just a little... Oh no, that's the same place that the other thing was. Okay, we're good then. And what else did we pick up here? Well, we just got the fragrance sticks from that balloon, but we do have a record player here, so we're gonna put that up here. And also we've got some cactuses, because why not? Like, have a little bit of decoration in here. We've got a couple plants. We've got the cypress. We can put a cactus in here too. The cactus has to go somewhere, right? All right, we're gonna put a little bench over here as well for the players to sit on when it's not their turn. So we've got a little spot for them. And let's see, what else? I was thinking there might be some tea sitting in here, but we're kind of almost out of room at this point. Unless I make another table. Or, what if we move this way? Can we still pretend there's enough room around it to play? If we do that... Oof, that's getting close. But we're gonna pretend. We're gonna pretend that. Maybe we will use the covered counter after all. Oh, actually, let's put this low board in here and see what that looks like. I think that might be a better option. And then we're gonna have some tea in here. Like, someone's brought some tea in. Have some tea while you're playing billiards. Why not? You can have tea when you're doing anything, right? Okay. So we have one more little spot for some decoration. I'm gonna go look for something to fill that spot while you guys check in with Officers Copper and Booker again. Ah, yes, I did have to come back. I'd left behind the book I was reading. I didn't get to sleep without a book to read, and I was just at the good part. So I went back to get it.
As I went in, Mr.Boddy was stumbling his way out. Just figured he'd gotten pretty tired too. Come to think of it, he was headed in the direction of the cloakroom. I do remember seeing a light coming from the direction of the kitchen.
It's true, I was still about. I was getting myself some cookies from the kitchen. A little midnight snack for a job well done. But now you mention it, I did see Mr. Boddy stumble into the cloakroom as I was on my way out of the kitchen. I believe I have an answer for you, Officer Copper. I found a set of fingerprints on the lead pipe. Okay, Colonel Mustard has now joined us here in the billiard room. So we've got a couple options for over here. I found a Newton's cradle, which I think might get a little annoying, but we can just put a book here, like maybe somebody brought their book in and forgot it. Maybe it's a book with all the rules for billiards that they have to check every once in a while because somebody doesn't remember right. I don't know. We do need to turn the music on over here though, so let's push this back for a second so we can get to that record player. Because when you set it on top of a dresser or something, you got to do it from the side, otherwise it doesn't work. I think we're gonna go with this one. I think we kind of use that in lots of the rooms. It's pretty general music, it's pretty good for, sounds pretty chill. Anyway. Alright, well there we go guys. I think that's gonna kind of do it for our billiard room. Another place to hang out in the manor here, maybe doing something a little more pleasant than the other events that took place here. Well, we've finished our job here. Let's find out if the police have finished theirs.
Keep talking, Mrs. White. We found a dropped plate of cookies just outside the cloakroom, and your fingerprints were found on a piece of pipe. Well, I suppose there's no point trying to hide it now. I told you before that I saw Mr. Boddy stumble into the cloakroom. Well, that part was true. What I failed to mention is that I followed him there to finish the job I started. No one fires me. After 45 years of service, I still had the pipe in my apron pocket, so I finished the job and then threw it into a pile of leaves in the courtyard as I went back to my cabin. If I hadn't been so angry, I might have realized I'd dropped my cookies. To think that cookies would be my downfall. Ah, another case solved, another criminal brought to justice, and another cup of Brewster's fine coffee. Not a bad way to end the day, is it, Booker?
Oh yes, certainly very good. And there we have it, friends. The conclusion to our little game of Clue here. It was Mrs. White in the billiard room with the lead pipe. Well, kind of in the cloakroom too. Yeah, took her a couple tries, but she did what she came to do. I just want to say thank you so much for indulging me in this something a little different here on the channel. It's been super fun for me to make, and it does seem like you guys have enjoyed it too. I appreciate you so much for being here and sharing this with me. Please take a moment and click that like button so YouTube will share it with even more people. And if you enjoy Animal Crossing and other cozy games, go ahead and click subscribe as well. Turn on those notifications so you can be sure to join us for whatever comes next. I will see you there, friends. Have a beautiful day.